Hello everyone, welcome back. In this video, we are going to learn how to import your existing Azure resources into Terraform management. So let's try to understand this use case better. Let's say that you are using Terraform to build your infrastructure in Azure Cloud. Let's say that a couple of new team members join your team. They are not familiar with Terraform. They ended up creating some resources in Azure Cloud manually. But how do you import them under Terraform so that the resources can be part of Terraform state file? That's exactly what we are going to understand in this video. Awesome. So if you look at the agenda, we are going to talk about what is a prerequisites, and then we will get into the demo part. So under prerequisites, yes, we need to have Terraform installed, and then we also need to have Azure Cloud account setup. And then you can use any IDE. I'm going to use VS Code in this particular demo. Okay. And then as part of the demo, the way we are going to achieve that is we are going to create some resources in Azure Cloud manually. And then we will try to import them under Terraform. For that, we need to create Terraform files. So whatever the resources you are creating, you are going to create Terraform files so that those resources can be imported. And then we will execute Terraform apply. Obviously, it is going to fail, complaining that resources already exist. And then we will try to import them under Terraform. And then we will check in Terraform state file just to make sure that those resources got imported. And finally, we will perform cleanup activity. And then, we will execute Terraform destroy command in order to clean up those resources. So these are the things what we are going to cover in this video. Awesome. So let's get started. So this is my website, coachdevops.com. I will be posting the link right below the video as well. So if you see here, so what is Terraform import? So you can use Terraform import command in order to import your existing resources. It doesn't matter whether you're using Azure Cloud or AWS Cloud or GCP Cloud. By performing Terraform import command, you can import your existing resources under Terraform management so that you can use Terraform to manage those resources which were created outside Terraform. Okay, so this is really awesome feature, especially where you have some resources you have created outside Terraform, or you could have used Azure CLI command to create the resources. But if you want to bring them under Terraform, this is the command you need to use. But there is a limitation of this command. You can import only one resource at a time. Okay, you cannot import like a collection of resources. So they don't have this capability at this point. They may have in future, but at this point you can import only one resource at a time. Okay, awesome. So let's get started. The way we are going to start is by going over the prerequisites. So if you see here, yes, we have installed Terraform. Let me quickly show you. So I do have installed Terraform. Okay, and I'm also using VS Code. Okay, that's my IDE. And then I also have Azure Cloud account setup as well. So this is my Azure Cloud account. Okay, so we have all the prerequisites. Okay, so now let's kickstart this lab exercise. So what we are going to do, we are going to create resource manually in Azure Cloud. So basically, what I'm planning to do is let's go ahead and create an app service in Azure Cloud. Okay, we will do this manually, and then we will try to import them under Terraform. Okay, so that's what we are going to achieve here. Okay, so let's get started. Of course, you can also click on this link if you are not familiar with Azure Cloud. If you don't know how to create web app, which is kind of app service, you can definitely follow this instruction. But I'm going to go ahead. Okay. All right. So this is my Azure portal. So click on app service. I'm going to create an app service. So like I said, we are going to create this manually, and then we will bring these resources under Terraform management. Okay. All right. So we need to create a resource group. So let me give some name. So I'm going to give a resource group as my manual RG. Okay. And click on OK. And then I'm going to go ahead and then give some web app name. So let me give some name. Okay. So let me give this name and I'm going to make this as code, and then let's select the runtime stack. So let's see, I'm going to go with Java 11. I'm going to go with Apache Tomcat 9.0 and operating system as Linux. And my region code is, let's say, South Central US, right? Okay. And then we need to create app service plan. So let me give some plan name. I'm going to give my service plan. Okay. And then select the size. And we are going to select dev/test because we don't need any high demanding workload for our demo. And then I'm going to go with this one, close to 2 GB RAM. Click on apply. Okay, perfect. I think we have everything covered here. Resource group name, web app name. We are going to go with code, Java, Tomcat, Linux, and then region is South Central US. And then this is the name and this is the SKU and size for my plan. And then let's click on review and create. And then click on create. So this will take, a few seconds to create. All right. So all these resources got created. So it should have created the resource group. So this was the resource group what we created. And as you can see here, it also created web app as well as our app service plan. Okay. So why don't you click on this one? Okay. All right. So now we got this URL. So when you click on the URL, of course, this may take, few seconds. All right. So that's our app service which is up and running. Perfect. Okay. All right. So now let me go into my IDE. Okay. So this is the folder, right? So I have created a folder called Terraform Import over here and I don't have anything created. So basically what we did was, we created all these resources manually. Now our goal is to bring them under Terraform. For that, we are going to use Terraform import command. But before that, you cannot just import just like that, right? What we have to do, we have to create, proper, Terraform file or Terraform, resource block, respective resource block in order to import those resources. Okay. So what we are going to do, let me first go ahead and then create Terraform files. So this is my IDE. Okay, so I'm going to create a file called main.tf. Okay, and then let's copy and paste this code. So basically, obviously our provider is going to be Azure RM. Okay, so this is our provider. And I would like to use Azure RM version to anything greater than 2.99.0. Okay, perfect. So now what we are going to do, we need to import resource. So if you look at the portal, so everything comes under resource group, right? So what we need to do, we need to first create this resource group. Okay, we need to create this resource group. We need to write code to import this resource group. So how to do that? So let's add this block of code. Okay, so I copied the code for resource group. Okay, and then let's make sure we have the correct naming convention. So if you go back to the portal, and this is the name of the resource group, my manual RG. So I have given that, and then this is our location. And then this is just for the tagging, owner name and organization name. Perfect. So this should do for importing the resource group. Okay. So let me go back. Of course, I can also import service plan and everything. So of course, I can also write that code. Okay, so this block of code is for importing the service plan. So this is the name of the plan. Let me make sure I do have correct naming convention. Okay, so this is a correct name, my service plan. Perfect. So that is that. Okay. All right. And then, so this block of code is for importing the app service what we had created. Okay. So this is the name of the web app. Let me make sure I do have it correctly. So let's see. My awesome super web app. My awesome super web app. Yeah, perfect. Okay, so everything is looking good. Okay, let me make sure I have everything close. Okay, this is good. This is good. Perfect. Perfect. So let's go ahead and run Terraform init. Okay, so this is going to download the respective plugin. So very good. So everything has been initialized. Okay. So if you look at ls-al, okay, so this has created all this working directory and whatnot. Okay, so perfect. Okay, and then let's go ahead and then say Terraform plan. Of course, we are not going to create these resources are already there, but let's see what Terraform is going to do. Okay, so right now this says that it is going to create 3 resources, but we already have them, right? So that's fine. Why don't we go ahead and then say Terraform apply? I know it is going to fail, but let's see. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and then say yes. So obviously this has failed, right? Obviously this has failed. So if you see here, it complains that resource group already exists, isn't it? Okay, look at that. And then it also says that it can be managed via Terraform, right? So you just have to import it. That's what it says. Okay, so if you go to Google, if you just type Terraform import, so that is the command what we are going to use, right? Look at that. So using this Terraform import command, we should be able to import any existing infrastructure or resources, right? Okay. So that's exactly, what we are going to do. All right. So why don't we go ahead and then start importing the resource? So the way we are going to do that, we are going to say Terraform import. And then we need to, if you look at the syntax, let me see. So if you look at the syntax, Terraform import, you need to specify the resource type. So something like that, right? If you see here, Terraform import resource type, and then resource name, and then the ID of the resource. Okay, so that is what we have to do. Okay. Okay, so let's do that. So I'm going to say Terraform import, and then this is the resource group type, and then this is the resource group name, which is RG, and then this is the ID for that resource group. So go ahead and then copy this and then paste it, enter. Now if you see this is okay. Now see here, the resource have been imported. So how do you know the resource got imported? So type ls-al. Wow, look at here. So we are able to see this file, terraform.tf state file. So there you go. If you see here, you will be able to see the resource group. There you go. You see here, we are able to see the resource group, right? So that is a resource group, we are able to see that. Okay, perfect. Now we also need to import other resources as well, right? So why don't we do one thing? Let's go ahead and then say Terraform apply. So like I said, you cannot import all the resources under the resource group type. That's the limitation of Terraform import. You can import only by one resource at a time. Okay. So now it is asking, do you want to perform this action? So since one is already imported, it is trying to make some changes to the resource group. But you can definitely ignore this. But look at here, it's trying to create two other resources, which is nothing but the web app and the service plan. Obviously, it is going to fail. Why? Because those resources are already there. But let's go ahead and then say yes. It will definitely fail. Okay. So as you can see here, resource group with ID. So this is nothing but the service plan, right? So as you can see here, it says it already exists. So in order to be managed by a Terraform, this has to be imported into the state file. Okay. So how to do that? Again, I'm going to use Terraform import command, and then the resource type dot resource name here. And then you're going to provide the ID, which is nothing but this one. Enter. So now it is in the process of importing them under Terraform state file. Okay, so this has been imported. So if you look at terraform.tf state file, so we should be able to see the service plan as well. There you go. You see here. So this is a service plan. Okay. Perfect. So that's the Terraform state file. That's the size of 2686, right? Okay. And then let's go ahead and then say Terraform apply. There is only one resource left, which is nothing but the app service. So now this may say that, two resources to change, one to add. Let's see. Oh, one to add, one to change. Okay, that's fine. So let's go ahead and say yes. So obviously this is going to fail. Okay, there you go. So this is failing. So this is the final resource, which is nothing but web app. I mean, you don't have to say, you don't have to execute Terraform apply command. You can directly go ahead and then say Terraform import, but I just wanted to show you guys. And then it is also easier to get the subscription ID this way, right? Okay, so let's go ahead and then say Terraform import. And then this is the resource type, resource name, and then copy the ID like that. Okay, successful. If you type ls-al, wow, look at the Terraform state file. So this has grown a little bit bigger, right? And then if you see inside that file, you're gonna see the web app name as well. So we already saw this one. We already saw the resource group. Now we should be able to see the web app as well. I think that's the web app right there. Right? Okay, so that's the web app. Sorry, this one. Okay, Perfect. All right, so we were successfully able to import all of them. So why don't we go ahead and then say Terraform apply. So now it should not do anything, technically speaking, because we have successfully imported all the resources. Everything is intact. Okay, see, 0 to destroy, 0 to add, 1 to change. Sometime, it may just do a small tag changes or anything like that, but it's a very, very trivial change. Let's say yes. Perfect. So everything got imported. Okay. So obviously our Terraform state file is updated. Everything is good. Okay. So now we have successfully imported all the 3 resources, whatever we have created manually. We have brought them under Terraform management, which is nothing but Terraform state file. So now we should be able to destroy them, isn't it? Right? Because we were able to bring them under Terraform, so we should be able to destroy them as well. Okay, so why don't we do this? Why don't we go ahead and then say Terraform destroy? Because I don't want to keep them running and I'll be charged unnecessarily. So I want to clean up instead of deleting them manually. Since I have used Terraform to import, so I'm going to destroy using Terraform itself. Let's see. Okay, so it says that 3 resources to destroy. So let's go ahead and then say yes. Awesome. See here, all the 3 resources got destroyed. So if I go into Azure portal, if I refresh, all this should be gone. There you go. Wow. See here? So we were able to clean up those resources completely using Terraform. And then if I look into the Terraform state file, there is nothing much there. Right? Right? See, it's all clear. So yeah, so that's it, guys. So that is how you would use Terraform import command for importing your existing Azure resources into Terraform management. Thank you for watching this video.